Hello everyone, our topic is security analysis of consensus mechanism in blockchain technology. Firstly, what is a blockchain? A blockchain is a type of distributed ledger technology that consists of a growing list of records called blocks. At present, blockchain has been applied in various fields, especially cryptocurrencies. As an important part of blockchain technology, the consensus mechanism promises consistency of the blockchain system. Common consensus mechanisms include proof of work, proof of stake, and delegated proof of stake, etc. The basic idea of the POW algorithm is that in an untrusted distributed system, each node solves a mathematical problem through the computation of computing power, and the node that calculates the fastest obtains the accounting right of the new block. This algorithm achieves high security by wasting a lot of energy. As we all know, Bitcoin uses this algorithm. In a POS consensus mechanism, the publisher of a new block is determined by the state held by a node. Equity comes from how much and how long the user holds coins. The more coins the node holds and the greater the coin age, the higher the probability of the node issuing new blocks in the system. Ethereum is currently using this algorithm. The DPoS algorithm introduces the concept of voting election. Participants with a small amount of coins vote to elect proxy nodes, and the nodes with the most votes are responsible for publishing new blocks. EOS is currently using this algorithm.
Thank you, Cheng Feng. I will introduce the data consistency of proof of X. The decentralization of blockchain means that all nodes store the complete transaction information. Then synchronization of information across all endpoints will be an issue. Maintaining data consistency also ensures that all nodes in the blockchain network are informed about each transaction, which is positively used to prevent data from being tampered. Therefore, data consistency should be considered when studying the security of blockchain consensus mechanisms. According to the current literatures, it is known that the consistency level of proof of work, proof of state, and delegated proof of state are eventually consistency. Eventually consistency belongs to weak consistency. It means that after the data in the system is updated, subsequent reads of that data may get the updated value over the pre-update value. But it is guaranteed that the data will reach a consistent state after a certain time level. For example, in the proof of work algorithm based on the probabilistic model, the result of reaching consensus at one time is temporary, and the probability of the consensus results being overturned becomes smaller and smaller as time goes by. And the system is eventually considered to reach consistency. All three consensus mechanisms ensure that a new transaction can eventually be synchronized to all nodes in the network. Thus, the of these three consensus mechanisms provide favorable support for the security of blockchain. However, eventually, consistency also has security risks. Compared to the strong consistency, attackers can interfere with the propagation of information before system reaches eventually consistency, thus making the nodes in the network ignore a transaction. This is a short-range attack. Next, Jia will introduce the consensus mechanisms to deal with security attacks in details.
Okay, the next thing to introduce is the security attack on the consensus mechanism. Here we introduce three major types of security attacks. The first one is a short-range attack. This type of attack is typically a bribery attack, which mainly affect the POS consistency mechanism. There are 6 steps to attack. The first step is for the attacker purchase a certain good or service. 2. Then the merchants start to wait for the network to confirm the transaction. 3. At this point, the attacker begins to claim for the first time in the network, rewarding the relatively longest main chain that does not contain this transaction. 4. When the main chain is long enough, the attacker starts giving out bigger reward, rewarding those miners who mine in the chain that contain this transaction. 5. After 6 confirmations are reached, the reward will be waived. 6. Finally, the goods are in hand and the chain selected by the attacker is abandoned at the same time. The second attack is a long-distance attack. A long-distance attack is typically 51% attack. The attacker owns a large proportion of the computing resource in the network and direct forks the existing block, thereby obtaining more miner reward or deny a certain transaction. The third attack is the coin-edge combination attack. In the POS algorithm, the longer the holding time, the greater the accuracy, and the greater the probability of obtaining the right of bookkeeping. Attackers may control the network to generate new blocks by accumulating coin-edge. Beyond that, the next stage of our research will be looking at other consensus algorithms like Byzantium and looking the fault tolerance of the consensus mechanism. Thank you.